Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave original. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. It is Danny Parkins Friday. Danny Parkins from FS1's First Things First. What's going on, man?
Chilling, Bo. Thanks for having me back, man.
Hey, man. Got you on. And this is going to be a really fun moment for me and Ryan, what's about to happen. Now, we got Chiefs, Bills, some other NFL stuff, great moments of white basketball history going on right now. We'll get to all of those things. But first, my father is from Louisiana. Ryan is from Louisiana. My dad is from a little town called Oakdale. Ryan is from Lafayette. And I say that to say that we are both people who are very familiar with Louisiana and the different ways that Louisiana gets down. Danny is from Chicago and has done Midwest and really, really cold New York State living, right?
That's correct.
This is not very Louisiana at all, okay?
I got no Southern ties in my family. The only Louisiana experience I have is basically Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Okay, and I need you to understand there's Southern, but there's Louisiana. Like Louisiana stands on its own. So this LSU coaching search was already declared. Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports put something in one of his pieces where somebody's quoted as saying that this was going to be the most Louisiana thing ever, okay? Now, where this has gotten extra Louisiana, and when we say that, we mean like in a Huey Long sort of way, is that the governor has decided that he is going to run this search, right? Like this is clear that he has decided he's going to run this search. Now, an important detail for you to understand is that the athletic director at LSU, Scott Woodward, is the guy who also was the athletic director at Texas A&M when they hired Jimbo Fisher, and he got the $70 million buyout. And this Brian Kelly buyout, which is a $50 million buyout, I believe. Though it's worth noting, James Franklin also has a $50 million buyout, and your boy Scott did not negotiate that one. This is just kind of what things cost, okay? But he's that guy. Anyway, LSU is an interim president right now. So that's why the governor has taken in this power vacuum. And I started seeing crazy quotes from the governor's press conference yesterday. People were sending them to me. And I just read them because they were quotes, they were written down. Like they were sent in tweets. And I try to stay off of that place as much as I can at this point. So I wasn't clicking the links, right? Then I was made aware that it was a press conference. And baby, if you thought that what we had told you previously implied Louisiana-ness in this situation, Danny, we're about to let you know how Louisiana get down. Ryan, can we get Governor Jeff Landry of Louisiana at his press conference about this LSU coaching situation?
To foot the bill. So yeah, I absolutely. Who's that? Scott Woodward. No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. Hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodward's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now. Like it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because, and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. Big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kevin, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just telling you.
Okay. First of all, he's not entirely wrong on the agent thing, but he's also not entirely right. Like that's a platitude. We know this, right? Put a pin in that point. Yeah, put a pin in that point though, because I just need your reaction to simply hearing that man's voice.
It's very Cajun. That is. It's hard to take anything he says seriously.
And they get mad about that, by the way.
I
That makes them very mad.
I know. I just gave them red meat in the comments there. Yeah, I'm like, this is terrible, but I'm thinking that he sounds like a character in Adam Sandler's The Water Boy.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, Mr. Coach Klein. Like, I'm just like, I can't take him seriously. Like, that is just, he's just a stereotypical archetype of everything that I learned about Louisiana culture, which my first exposure to it was Adam Sandler when I was like 12 years old, which is not good.
And the thing for me and Ryan is we're like, no, it's just kind of how it goes, right? Like this is not what any of you think is coming. That's like the Ed Ogeron situation, right? Like it's not what
that
any
was
of you.
Amazing.
Yeah, but Ogeron was a football coach, so more into a lane that you could go for. And he is from St. Martinville, Louisiana. This is archetype, I think, is an appropriate way for you to put this. But what I heard as he went through all of that, including the platitude about the agent thing, like, yeah, buddy, like, you know what's interesting to me, and as I heard him say this, right, which sounded very much like a moment that all of us can have at various points, where you meet a fan in the wild and they hit you with a platitude, really thinking that they dropped the big joke, and they're like, hey, man, I got this thing that I've been thinking about. They shoot 2-minute 3-pointers in the NBA now.
Right.
And you're like, oh, man, glad you brought that up. You need to talk about that on your show, right? Yeah. He was that guy, and that's what dawned on me is going to make this search hilarious, and what generally makes these searches hilarious when they're not done by an athletic director. If it's not done by an athletic director, you know who's going to go find your new coach? A fan. Maybe a really rich fan. Maybe a very powerful fan, perhaps one with high levels of education. But in the end, just a fan.
Right.
Does
someone
that
who
sound
spends
like a good
time
idea?
on message boards.
Yes.
Like someone who has a username somewhere. I don't know if it's relevant, but it feels like it might be, because I did see some sort of like walk back comment from him that he was like, but I'm not going to be selecting the next coach. Like, is this gentleman popular? Like, is he broadly popular?
You know what? Let's look this up. Jeff Landry approval rating.
Because
whoa. 5 days ago, headline, Governor Landry's approval ratings drop across Louisiana, even in Acadiana, and Acadiana is where he's from. His approval rating has dropped to 39%. And that's the reason why I think we're seeing this in the way that we do. Look, talking bad about Brian Kelly and wanting to fix LSU football is a bipartisan issue, shall we say. He sent the tweet during the game about how they needed to roll back the increase in ticket prices. That's like he has figured out his way back to the top, except, I don't think this is really going to be it.
Yeah, like, right, exactly. Criticizing Brian Kelly, rolling back ticket prices, that's like a populist agenda thing. Like, he could have taken that 39% and maybe bumped it up into the low 50s, but then he went a step too far and it was like, I'm taking over the search. And everyone, no, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm going to run. Don't you have other things that you should be doing? And he's like, what's more important than this? And the people are like, you know what? You got a point.
Exactly. But if they liked him, they'd be like, yeah, I mean, he can't do a worse job than the last guy who hired Brian Kelly, but they don't like him.
Hey, man, understand this. Louisiana is known for government and people oftentimes having, we'll call it, misplaced priorities. Look at how long it took for them, or the circumstances under which it took for them to change the legal drinking age from 18 to 21, and what they did that at the expense of, which I believe was federal funds for the highways, but they had decided that some things are more important than your highways being what they are supposed to be. Yeah, you tell the governor, like, hey, man, it's about to be a Category 5 barreling down. We have a coach to find. Like, you think that you want to see a Category 6? Right. Let us not find a coach. That'll be a Category 6.
We've seen hurricanes before. We don't like seeing 5 losses.
Yes, that's like
Category 5 losses is the real problem.
Well, the other part is, because that's a state with only one really big time school. It's like Ohio State. This is what everybody does, right? Yeah. There's no split going on here. This is not being partitioned. This is what everybody's into. This is what everybody cares about.
Well, and I will say their marketing is pretty spectacular. Like, I'm not I love college football, but it's not in my like top 3
Yes.
like sports. Like I got a wife and kids, so I kind of have to give up a lot of my Saturdays to
Yes.
spend with them because of what I do on my Sundays. But the marketing of like I haven't been to a night game at Baton Rouge just like feels like a black hole in my sports fan
I
experience.
kind of want to go.
Like,
I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go. Like I've done a night game at Baton Rouge, but it was at Southern, which is also cracking. But
I'm sure.
I kind of want to do the Baton Rouge thing, and while they sing a Garth Brooks song that I don't actually know, but I've heard of only because of them, which tells you a lot because I'm from Texas. Like the thing is, we got to make sure we get to like at once a good one, but also one that we know they're gonna win. Like I don't want to be around them if they're a little salty, but I bet that tailgate is bananas.
That's really what it is. I want to experience the game day culture, and then the game can be it can be the afterthought.
Hey, start working on it, and in 2026, we'll figure out. And when I say working on it, you understand what I mean. You know, talk to the boss.
Yeah.
See if you can get you a couple days.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that we could go down there and do our odd couple thing of down there
I'm
in
in.
Baton Rouge. Ryan can start working with his boss too.
I'm in.
Yeah, we can do this.
I am in, and yeah, that's the doubleheader. Now we don't want to go to a Saints game.
No. I have no. Let me tell you something. They might fight me. Like the Saints game. Saints games I don't need to be, but I'm gonna take you. I got to take you over my side of Baton Rouge. You know, I got all kind of family through there, so I
believe it. I'm in, man.
Yeah. I got to show you the other side of Baton Rouge, but we go do that now. Now that we have laughed at the LSU search, we got a big weekend in the NFL. Not because it's a lot of big games, but it is Chiefs Bills.
Big one.
And the Bills. Regular season against the Chiefs, they've shown that they got a puncher's chance. In fact, might win. It's the playoffs where they don't seem to get over the top on this one. They get this game at home, but what is interesting is we were early this year looking at Buffalo. They're going to go to the Super Bowl in Kansas City. Are they going to make the playoffs? And now I feel like we've all got back to our senses, and we're like, look at Kansas City, best team in the AFC. And Buffalo, we're like, hey, they can't stop the run.
That is correct. And I'm not even totally convinced, even though the numbers are pretty good, that they can stop the pass, because Drake May lit them up and Lamar lit them up. Like they've played a terrible schedule, right? They have no impressive wins at this point, unless you give them credit for that week 1 Baltimore win where they actually didn't look that good. So yeah, you can run on them and you can pass on them. And I'm expecting the Chiefs to do both in this spot. Now I will say, like, I do think the Bills like blip of 2 losses was more of a blip. Like I do still think the Bills offense is excellent. So I expect this to be a very high scoring game, but this Chiefs thing, man, they're putting up offensive numbers that are identical to 2018 to 2022. Like not like 5 games of that stretch, like 5 years of that stretch. So it's I do think that the Chiefs are very much back to being the Chiefs, and the Bills are in a real bad spot here.
Right. So let's talk about these 2 losses, though, for the Bills and whether or not they qualify as a blip. And the reason we say this is you are right. They got that 1 win over the Ravens, and you're right. They gave up 40 points. It's easy to forget because it was so long ago. But
Correct.
Otherwise, they've beaten bums. They beat the Jets. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Saints, and they beat the Panthers. And the teams that they lost to are the Patriots, who... Hold on, we'll get to them. The other one is the Falcons. I don't ever have to explain what I'm saying when I'm talking about you beating the Falcons, right? Like, come on. But them beating the Patriots have also, all those wins they've got are all against tomato cans. Every single bit, right? And so does that mean that the Bills are also a tomato can, as they are fitting in with the line of tomato cans that the Patriots themselves have beaten? That's kind of where we are now. I feel like we're getting enough of a sample in the games where we can now raise questions about how good your wins actually are.
I agree. And I don't know if you do your NFL analysis this way, but like if you've been good for years, plural, I do think there is a carryover. Like I do think like Philly, Detroit, Kansas City, Buffalo, like I'm inclined to give those teams the benefit of the doubt and say, the schedule didn't break, right? Like it's really impossible for them to have an impressive resume right now based on what their schedule is for this team. But I still think that offensive line, that quarterback, that running back, by the way, James Cook leads leads the NFL in rushing. Like, I still think Buffalo we're going to wake up at the end of the year and they're going to have double-digit wins and be a problem. And let's say they lose to the Chiefs. Then all of a sudden, Miami, Tampa, Houston, Pittsburgh, like, we can poke holes in any of those opponents. Cincinnati, New England, Cleveland, like, there aren't that many good teams in the NFL this year. So if I only can judge you based on your resume this year on what you've done, who's good?
Yeah.
Kansas City, Philly, like, it's not a very long list.
And Kansas City's 5-3. Right. Per what you're saying. And I do think it is worth noting, and I did not say this. Yes, the Bills have beaten tomato cans, but in fairness to them, they have beaten the hell out of those tomato cans, right?
Like, which they always do.
Yeah, they're beating them by double digits. You're right. They are that sort of team, and it is very similar, I would say, to the Ravens when they roll. They are going to beat bums, and they are going to beat the bums emphatically. It's those other games that get a little bit dicey. But they're not going to do a whole lot of losing that they're not supposed to do, except when you play against the Falcons.
Yeah, they have. I had this on Breakfast Bowl the other day when they came out of the Carolina game. That was their 10th win of 28 or more points in the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
28 or more in the NFL is an ass kicking. Like, that is a college football Power 5 v not type of game. And so they can kick your ass if you're really bad and not in their class. And yeah, your point is valid. Like, they can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Josh Allen hasn't been the problem, like, in the regular season or the playoffs. Like, he's got 24 touchdowns against 5 turnovers in his 10 career games against the Chiefs. Like, Josh Allen will show up. It's just that other team has 15 and Andy Reid and everybody else. So, there's really nothing Buffalo, I think, can prove to the masses at large in this game. But let's be honest, man. Like, what if Kansas City loses?
Yeah. We'll turn so fast, right? They'll be sitting on a 5-4. They are fortunate in that the Chargers thing hasn't turned out like it looked like it was going too early, because there was two sides of the coin in that game in Brazil in week 1. It was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with the Chiefs? But hey, look at the Chargers. Even though, looking back, that game was not, like, given the uniqueness of the circumstances and the margin was not so great, that maybe it didn't mean as much as any of us wanted to believe that it meant at the time. But Buffalo's got 10 games left, and 5 of them are tricky. They got the Chiefs at home, the Bucs at home, at Houston. And I think the Houston is one of those where it's going to turn, where they probably played better than their record indicated early. And I think that one starts coming around. They got at the Steelers, at the Patriots, and they've got the Eagles second last week of the year. Oh, yeah, there we go. Those are the 5.
Yeah, like, so if you were going to say, who can you more reasonably see missing the playoffs, Chiefs or Bills, you would say it's the Bills comfortably, correct?
I would say it's the Bills, and I think it's in line with your point. That's the benefit of the doubt factor that
Correct.
The Chiefs have heard. Like, we're at, like, Buffalo. How many years in a row is it now that they've won that division? Is it something like 6?
It's 6.
Yeah,
6.
That's kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't think we discussed that nearly enough, that they are now, the way the Chiefs are running that division, like, we're in the way that the Patriots were running the East, except I think the difference is, well, with Buffalo, it's the same division that we've long found to be mediocre. The Chiefs thing is we haven't felt that way necessarily about the division, and they just keep walking through it.
Yeah, I think that, the AFC West gets, like, well, they've got Harbaugh and Sean Payton, and it's just like now Pete Carroll. Like, it's an impressive group there. We saw the Patriots dominate the East for even longer than the Bills have dominated the East, and the Bills haven't backed it up with doing anything in the playoffs that anybody cares about. I think that's really the biggest thing. It's like, oh, okay, well, so you dominate a bad division and then you lose in the divisional round of the playoffs. Like, how impressed am I supposed to be by that? And I don't think that's entirely fair, but I do think that's why we kind of downgrade their regular season dominance. Like, go ahead.
Let me tell you this, though, buddy. I can't imagine how cracking it's going to be in that stadium because, as Nick would say, it's Super Bowl time for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. They get this game at home against the Chiefs because, look, man, it for them, it ain't just about the teams. It's also about the Josh Allen thing. They love him in a very unique and special way, and they want all the best things for him. And this is a time. This is another example
I know, and I know that like when I heard you, I saw the clip of you saying like that everybody loves Josh Allen and the media roots for him, and I was like, is he talking about me?
It's everybody. And
No, I know. Well, but here's what I will say about it in like defense, I guess, of the opinions at large, because like Nick and I were going back and forth at this yesterday on TV, and he was like rattling off all the people that said Josh Allen was the best quarterback in the world. He's like, people are so quick to move on from Mahomes. I'm like, I at least never said that. My thing has always been though, I think as much of a foregone conclusion as it is that Mahomes is the best, it should also be nearly that much of a consensus majority of opinion that the second best quarterback in the NFL is Josh Allen.
And see, that's where I disagree, because I think that's really selling Lamar short. Now, of course, the issue becomes the drop in performance in postseason.
That's a pretty big one.
It's a pretty big one, but all I'm saying is we never dropped Peyton Manning to number 3, or in some cases below number 1, under very, very, very similar circumstances through this point in his career.
Okay, but I hear what you're saying, and comparing eras is like a worthwhile cause, but I think that there are, like, the game has changed, what we value changed, we get smarter, different stats, whatever the case may be. Like, since 2020, Mahomes is first in the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, wins, and playoff wins. Josh Allen is third in passing yards, second in passing touchdowns, second in wins, and second in playoff wins. And the only guy who passed him in passing yards was Justin Herbert. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Allen, in terms of the quarterbacking things that we care about, the yards, the touchdowns, the winning, the playoff wins, he's second to the GOAT. So I feel like it's like a fairly, now the highs of Lamar, the difficulty of defending Lamar, multiple MVPs. Lamar's amazing, and with all of this, we are parsing greatness. But if Josh Allen also balls out in the playoffs and Lamar doesn't, I feel like that's a reasonable place to put the tiebreaker.
While I hear you, and I don't do a lot of stat leaning at this point.
Yeah.
But I think we're ignoring that the dude last year had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Like, I think, and I also think that he is the central node of his offense in the way that Allen is in his. It's not just about what the numbers are. It's that everything that happens here is because of this guy. Now, we're at a place where Lamar got some dudes around him in a way that Allen no longer does, right? Like the Stephon Diggs is not there anymore, for example, though they do have James Cook. Like, they put the stuff around Lamar, but this is about Lamar. The advanced statistical case for Lamar is also pretty spectacular. I think it is a debate. And I think that's where I think that we go a little too hard because of the postseason stuff with him. Not to say that having Allen at number 2 is unreasonable, but I don't think that it's indisputable. I think that's my thing.
Yeah, and if I say it's indisputable and then you dispute it, that immediately makes me wrong. So I guess I'm happy to concede the point. I will defer to the guy who got it done in the playoffs more. Now, and again, neither of them have gotten done in the playoffs at the ultimate level. And I do think I oversell the 13-second game. I'm like, Josh Allen had 300.
Yo, that's the ultimate, man. Only a Josh Allen can get credit for not winning.
Bo,
I watched the game too. It was pretty good. I'm not saying it wasn't good, man. I was there. I wasn't there.
He never got the ball back.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Like that. Like finally, for the first time ever, people were like, "Wait a minute, sudden death is wrong because Josh ain't get the ball again."
No, I didn't want it changed. I don't need my overtime to be fair, but I do need to be like, he can't beat Mahomes in the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, he can.
Well, maybe he can, but the bottom line is he did not.
That's right. The bottom line is that he did not.
The bottom line is that he did not. He look, we're big fans of the big galoot over here, right? Like, I want to make sure that we're very clear about this. We are big fans of the big galoot. Just I'll be hoping, man. Just hoping.
No, that's fair. And I want to be clear that I am big fans of Lamar. Like, before last year, I would still have made like a Burrow over Lamar argument, and now I'm like fully off that. Right?
Yeah. So that was people overreacting.
Yeah, that was overreacting. I will fully concede that, and Lamar stays on the field in a way that Burrow does not, and Burrow is better in the playoffs, but he's not there as often, and so like I'm not Lamar is to me very clearly at 3, but yeah, and so Lamar is spectacular, and by the way, there's the reason why the Ravens right now, even though they are 2-5, are favored to win the AFC North, is their path compared to Pittsburgh's path is so much easier. Just the next, like, they don't play Pittsburgh until week 14. They very easily could be tied or in first place before they even beat them one time. So Lamar coming back, I think, changes everything for them, and I do still expect the Ravens to win that division.
Hey, speaking of Pittsburgh, I just read something. Did y'all's homeboy get his nipples pierced?
He did. Yeah, yesterday.
They got a homeboy named Pony, and Pony worked on the radio, and he saw, I forget what he said, that if something happened, he would get his nipples pierced. And I got to be honest, it wasn't that, like, it was on the board that this could happen, whatever the thing. What was the thing?
It was Steelers Bengals 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. On a Thursday night on the road, like I gotta say, I just think he wanted to get his nipples pierced because that was not nearly hyperbolic enough to justify the risk. And next thing you know, you look up, he out here looking like Janet Jackson.
That is right. And you know, he's a showman. He's a performer. He's king of Pittsburgh radio. He turned it into he pivoted nicely. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They raised, I think, $12,000 last night at a bar. Packed the house. Bunch of people showed up, bought tickets, made a donation. Pat Fryermuth donated some game-worn cleats that they auctioned off, that sort of thing. But yeah, right now, both of his nipples are pierced. And I haven't spoken to him yet today, but we were texting last night and he said his nipples were burning. I'm like, yeah, I bet. You didn't need to tell me that. But he also added in the tweet, without a numbing agent. Like, why?
Because the real answer to this, to me, very clearly, is he a freak. Like, he's just a freak. Like he needed an excuse to get this freak shit off. And he put it out there, and then he went, yeah. He didn't do no numbing agent. Nah, man, he wanted to feel that pain. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And like I'm not going to out my boy from college too much, but you're on it.
Yeah, you just learned some things about the homie that maybe you knew and ain't telling us, but I can tell right now. Like he a freaky deaky. That's what it is. Like, I'd never really thought about how this relates to men, but I guess, yeah, he a freaky deaky. That's the only explanation.
Shout out to Andrew Filipponi.
Yeah. Radio. By the way, talking about spinning radio events, I have to bring this up because I think that this went on during a time that I wasn't really on the internet and I was not aware of, but a buddy of mine made me aware of. Guys, this guy, Danny Parkins, one time in Chicago, got so tired of these people talking about what about Chicago that he helped to I'm dead serious because this was one of the most impressive things that I had ever seen. You did this with the acho that people like.
Yes, Sam Acho. Yeah, wow. Thank you for bringing that up. I think I'm wearing. Yeah, I got my undershirt on right now. Is one of the shirts we sold for that event. It says "Keep Chicago out of your mouth." I'm a privileged kid from the north side of Chicago who then moved to the more privileged northern suburbs of Chicago. But I read and I know people from the city and all parts of Chicago. And it would really piss me off when politicians would make the very disingenuous when they were talking about gun control. They would be like, well, gun control doesn't work. What about Chicago? They've got strict gun laws, but they've got all these gun deaths. And I was like, you guys don't give a shit about Chicago. You know damn well that it's an 8-minute drive across the bridge to Indiana, and the gun laws there are so lax, and like 40% of guns that are recovered in violent crime in Chicago come from out of state. They know all these numbers, and they do not care, and they just use Chicago as this argument to shit on the city when they don't live there and they don't care about it. And so this is a long story. I'll tell as quickly as I can, but when the George Floyd murder happened, and there was all that civic unrest. There's this group of kids at this like after school academy in Chicago that had this liquor store that was across the street from their after school program, where a bunch of bad stuff was happening, drug deals, things like that, and it got looted and got torn up or whatever. And Sam Acho and some other Jason Hayward and other people put money together to buy the liquor store, tear it down, pave over it, and the kids started a food mart program because they were in a food desert in the Austin neighborhood on the west side of Chicago. And they partnered with a grocery store, and they were able to get tomatoes and avocados and whatever, produce for cost to sell to the neighborhood. So the kids had an entrepreneurial program. They were able to provide healthy food in a place where there wasn't a grocery store within walking distance, that sort of thing. But the problem with a food mart in an open air area on some pavement in Chicago is it gets cold. And so I was really moved by this story, and they were having to shut down the food mart around holiday season in Chicago. And so we did this radiothon. I did this 24-hour radiothon. I called it the What About Chicago radiothon, like turning it on its head. Like, you talking about Chicago? What about Chicago? And broadcast for 24 hours, brought on a lot of those athletes who funded the grocery store, brought on the kids, brought on people who talked about the benefits of, closing food deserts. And we raised $670,000 and built a 1,700 square foot refrigeration, security, grocery store that still exists in Austin to this day that is fully staffed by kids.
That is pretty incredible. Coming up next, we'll talk about the incredible Austin Reaves. All right, Ryan, you got DraftKings pick 6 for the folks.
All right, that's right, Bo. Football is back, and so is your shot at big wins with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Just pick more or less or 2 or more player stats. Here's 2 I like. I like Rashee Rice more than 70.5 receiving yards against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. Also like Devontae Adams over 61.5 receiving yards playing the New Orleans Saints. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code BOMANI. That's code BOMANI. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus, age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited, 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, we are back with Danny Parkins. I want to switch to a little NBA because I do think what's going on with the Lakers right now is really, really interesting, right? So start the year, Luka puts up 40 with LeBron sitting there saying nothing. This, been there. No, nothing's wrong. No, I just want to watch the game. No, but the problem is you asking me if something's wrong. So we've seen that. Then Luka put up another 40 in game 2. Then he gets hurt. And then Austin Reaves comes out and puts up a 50, 11, and 9, and then puts up another 40 the next night. This is, hey, man, I don't know what this means, but there was a time where Austin Reaves would do this, and this is like the AR-15. Hey, man, he'd be the most famous man in America right now for putting up this run. Like maybe he needed to do this when he was a little sorrier, and then it could be insanity.
Yeah, and football season. We are peak college football, NFL, the unbelievable World Series. Like no one's paying attention to early season NBA unless it's Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
Who? I mean, ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, Austin Reaves right now is averaging a cool 34 points, 5.5 boards, 10 assists, 1.8 steals. That'll play for the headband wearing Austin Reaves. And in 38 minutes a night, second best player on the team.
Oh,
just saying.
I'm not ready to do that. I understand you. There's certainly a plausible statistical argument for this fact. Now, let me ask this question, because this is what I think is interesting about it, which is, when the Linsanity run happened, a lot of people said, well, hey, if you let me come out here and run high pick and roll every time down the floor, it would look similar to. There was a guy named Matt Maloney who played for the Rockets who during the playoffs one year did the same thing to Gary Payton. And Gary Payton was furious because he's like, it's just high screen and roll every time. Like, you get out here and do, because Matt Maloney, by the way, was like if Austin Reaves went to prep school. Like it was like he went to UPenn. if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
nice.
Yeah. And he's out here giving it to Gary Payton, right? It was a similar sort of thing. Is Austin Reaves a guy where if you create a circumstance that allows him to be your best player, he could be the guy who does this? You don't necessarily win anything, but he could put up big numbers under these circumstances. But does that mean he's actually a guy that could be the second or third best player on a really good team? Because like the way it's looking, I think we all agree Luka's a top 5 to 7 player in the league.
Oh, yeah.
If Austin Reaves is a credible number 2, right? Because look, I don't know how much LeBron is actually going to play this year. Not that he doesn't want to, but a man his age, I don't think you can just write down 65 games. That's not, he got my back. Yeah, he got my back hurt right now. All right.
That's right.
That's the thing. But I don't know what Austin Reaves is. I guess we've seen what Austin Reaves is if he's the 2 or 3. And it wasn't anything that made us believe that he could be the guy that scores 50 when he's got the chance.
Right. So like I don't know. There's a few things here. I think that the NBA is the only sport that realistically has enough talent where I would be totally comfortable with expansion. Like there's so many talented basketball players that are on the bench that I'm not, like, to your point, I'm not saying they would be, if they got their moment in the sun, that they would be the best player on a championship team, but that they could average 27 a game and look like an NBA player. We see those types of stories all the time where guys come in and make an outsized impact and you're like, who the hell is that guy? And it's like, yeah, he just got the minutes. Like, someone's got to get buckets on bad teams. It's an NBA truism. But I also believe that to really win in the NBA, of your top 3 guys, 2 of them have to be two-way players.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have, like, the Bulls team a couple of years ago, Chicago guy, loved the Bulls, like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic were their 3 highest paid players, their 3 quote-unquote best players. All of them were traffic cones on defense, right? And it's like, well, then they had Caruso and they had Lonzo Ball, and like, yeah, but then Lonzo got hurt, whatever. But like, why Giannis is so special is because he's a two-way impact player.
Right. The Knicks are in this bind.
Exactly. Brunson and Cat are their best players, but they are both liabilities on the defensive end of the court. Your best players need to also have an impact from them defensively, or else it's too hard to construct your team based on the money. So I don't think Luka, Austin Reaves, and LeBron as your big 3, quote unquote, at this stage of what LeBron can do athletically with availability, athleticism, and the my back hurts. I don't think that that's a thing that can win anything.
Hey, I see what I don't know, and I need to watch them more closely. I need to find out if Austin Reaves really isn't a good defensive player, or, y'all out here crabs in a barrel, don't want to give no props to y'all's countrymen and acknowledge the possibility that he might be out here playing some defense. But I'm going to tell you this right now, Austin Reaves, and I'm going to give you some very important advice, okay? You keep balling like this, and things have changed a little bit, but I still think there's a lot of money out there for you, just as being the one that's not like the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be talking to all the schools, like all the kids going to be out, like it's the world is the game's out there waiting. You know what I mean? It's all there for Austin Reaves, but this is a very important thing that he and his marketing people need to understand. They're going to stop loving you, or at least they're not going to have you in the same category if you mess around and start getting your hair cut with the rest of the team. Okay? Maybe you need to go get your hair cut where Rui get his haircut, because he does not seem to get his haircut with the rest of the team, but you need to keep that floppy shit going. Like, you think about this. They don't give Tyler Hero no bonus white boy points at basketball, and I think it is entirely tied to white people believe in the quality of your whiteness based on how cool your haircut is. And if you mess up and get a cool haircut, it's all going to go away. Like, even Luka's haircut is like moderately cool. He ain't really going there. Like, Tyler Hero looked like he might fly his barber around.
Yeah, so like, he should do should he go all the way with like the Kirk Cousins like Sport Clips sponsorship?
I mean, I'm just saying, there's more money in that play, right? That archetype, right? You could do that. Like, it would help him if he was from the Midwest, because like Arkansas, people talk bad about Arkansas, but if he was from like Indiana or Iowa or Kansas or one of those places and was just out here flopping it, it'd be good times for him.
How do you feel if he went like the Justin Herbert route and like got himself a very famous Madison Beer type, like chatting someone up courtside at a Lakers game.
Could work. See, that's going to be the key for him is like what he parlays this into.
Right.
Because like I say, the world right now is his oyster. There are guys in the NBA that you would know of, but aren't necessarily top 50, 75 guys. And I know the people that they's able to get hooked up with. And I'm talking about black ones. They's able to get into some places that I'm telling you, Austin Reaves might be able to just show up with the right car at the mall, and you might have a chance at making that happen. But right now, the Lakers ain't just had a regular white dude really out here killing it since Jerry West.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they was happy about Kurt Rambis.
Well, you said before we started recording of like, it's the type of guy who 8-year-old me would own his jersey.
That's right.
I've been thinking about that for the last 39 minutes, and it's so true. Like it's just like so on the nose. Like when I saw John Paxson as a kid, I was like, I can play in the NBA.
Yeah, it's like this. You would not just have the jersey. You would have the jersey because your parents would buy it for you.
Oh.
That's what.
You can be anything you want to be, son.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
like Austin Reaves should play for the Patriots. Like it's that kind of situation. But he's good. Like I think that's an important thing to know. Like Alex Caruso became an interesting case because people couldn't figure out what to do with. Hey, he's an NBA player. Austin Reaves appears to be a better than average NBA, like maybe 70th percentile NBA player.
Oh man, I mean,
he's putting up 50-point
I was
triple doubles.
gonna say,
So
I
might
feel
be a
like
little
we
unfair.
maybe should go a little higher than 70th percentile.
Look, man, I gotta be careful. I can't get too wrapped up here. But that's a fair point.
I feel I don't think that 30% of players in the NBA can drop 50.
That's a good question.
Right? Like
okay, so I don't think 30% of the NBA could drop 50 and then drop 40 the next night.
Right. I guess that is more accurately what I'm saying. Like I think that is a real amount of production.
That's fair.
That is just really impressive. I'm not saying he's Donovan Mitchell,
right?
But right. I'm not saying he's that level of scorer. But I don't think he's in the 70th percentile of players. And yeah, like Caruso's an interesting one too. Like Caruso is excellent at defense.
Yes,
and then he can like do a couple other things. Like, but Alex Caruso's not going to go out there and go like 30, 10, and 10.
You're correct.
So like the white specialist is one thing. Like the white American all around hooper,
right?
It's a rare breed.
We got a white boy scoring, putting up 50, and we got a white boy playing on the all defense team.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey man,
and the number one pick.
That's right.
The number one pick.
Not just the number one pick, but like the number one pick, and everybody sees it. Look, man, it's been a lot of times that y'all could have just quit. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of opportunities that y'all had to just turn around. That the way you've been getting shit on by all these people and people saying that y'all ain't got it. But these cats kept on going. These cats, they kept on pushing through. You know what I'm saying? In spite of all the bad influences that was around them.
It's a story of perseverance.
It is.
Really. Yeah,
hey, man, look, man. You got, like we always talk, a guy called my radio show many years ago and said that being short is a constant fight for credibility. I don't know if that is the case, and that is true. And, neither of us got to deal with that. So the rest of y'all, like we this is just what we heard about y'all. But at the same time, if being short is a fight for credibility, I can't imagine what it is to be a white basketball player.
I mean, we made a fairly popular movie about it.
They did.
White man can't jump. Got the hustle on. You put a cat in the oven and don't make it a biscuit.
Yes. Like, this is it. It is the wildest thing because white people just gave up on it. Like black people at every turn, you tell us we can't do it. It'll be a few. Well, I don't want to use that word right now, but it'll be a few dissenters that'll be quietly like, y'all know we can't do that. But at least in front of people, we're going to be like, hey, we can do anything the white man can do. White people don't even try that with a few different things. And then when you get one, get a little bit too excited. So I kind of feel like right now, it's the nice, wonderful in-between stage.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned insanity in passing. That is not what is happening with Austin Reaves.
No. I'm only saying it's insanity in the sense that you can put up, if you give a guy low expectations and say the world is yours, that there's a set of numbers that you could put up that doesn't necessarily reflect where you stand in the like real concept of team basketball.
Yeah, that is totally fair. And I do think that we're going to get like a fairly long runway here for Austin Reaves because of the LeBron injury, and they'll be plenty on national TV, and playing off of Luka is a good place to play. Like I think Austin Reaves is in a real nice position to make an all-star team.
It's on the board, and let me tell you this, man. If him and Luka get out there balling together, they're gonna be a movie starring them about them. They go the new Lethal Weapon is just gonna be them, or like Starsky and Hutch.
That's gonna be that is gonna be an interesting basketball question of like in the post LeBron world of the Lakers. Like, can that be your big two?
That will completely change the game. Like that'll make me and my people be like, we losing the country, bro.
Yeah. There's gonna be a reckoning. Like, the Lakers don't need a 7-foot center anymore. They need Luka and a guy named Austin from Arkansas. That doesn't make sense.
Silver Lake Lakers are in the house, right? Before we get out of here, you enjoy engaging in the gambling a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
What your top line thoughts of the last week?
Oh, damn, man. Well, Chauncey's in trouble. He's in big trouble. If it was just the poker side of it, I wonder if there would be a way to totally prove that he knew about it, or if he was just in the pocket of the mob and got in too deep. But it's the vulnerabilities that are there are obvious. I do think as the gambler, it is important for me to make the point that the reason why Jonte Porter's unders was exposed so quickly, or Terry Rozier's unders was exposed so quickly, was because it was legalized. Like, the regulation is what exposed it. You're not betting 5 figures, much less 6 figures, on the 7th or 8th guy on a team's player prop market on a given night. Like, we like to gamble, but we don't like to gamble that much. So, like, that is a stupid crime that those guys committed. Like, it was a crime of stupidity, because they were obviously going to get caught when they did that. People say, there's a cost that comes with these leagues taking the money. And of course that is true. But I'm not sure that people, and I know that you do, like, have a full grasp of just how much money it is. There was a point in time, if you listen to sports radio, the only thing you heard was car dealership commercials. And then there was a point in time where it was like beer distributors, and every radio station in every market in the country was doing 1 or 2 remote broadcasts a week. And like the liquor reps were just paying 5 figures in the big markets for you to just show up with your radio show at bars, because they were just spending money in that way, hand over fist. That is now the gambling companies. So, like, of course the leagues are going to take the money, and there's a cost that comes with it, but they are absolutely willing to pay the cost because of the massive amounts of money that it is. And I know you said top line thoughts, and I've given you like 4 now.
You're good.
But like, the other part is that the leagues and the gambling companies, their interests on catching this stuff is 100% aligned. Like, the league doesn't want the integrity of their games in question, and the gambling sites don't want to be took for a bunch of money on some funny bets. So, like, I think there are some solves for some of it. Like, don't make player props a two-way market. And by that I mean you can't bet the under. Like, you've got to, if you want to bet Austin Reaves points, you can't say under 48.5. It's got to just be a straight over. Like, I think that helps some of it, but this story could have been a lot worse. And it probably will be at some point. And that's just the reality. And you can say like that was avoidable, but Pete Rose was a big story. The Black Sox were a big story. You know what I mean? Gambling is something that's happened for forever. Prohibition doesn't work. legalization, taxation, regulation is going to catch most of this stuff, but there will be more controversies that come of it. There's no question.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to ask themselves the question of a hard ban on gambling from the participants in the league. Because I think, to me, the real vulnerability, we've talked about this, so I don't have to go too deep, is the idea that Chauncey Billups could wind up in this place is the question that you need to get to the bottom of and figure out how many more. I mean, Damon Jones, too. But, like, how many? I mean, I guess Terry Rozier, right? Like, they all have the hallmarks of, I owe people a lot of money.
Yeah, gambling is an addiction, but even if you said, though, Bo, you cannot bet. You cannot set foot in a casino. You cannot bet sports, even not the sports that you don't play. Man, you don't think Chauncey Billups can find an offshore bookie or an underground card game?
You're totally right. Well, what you would have to do to make it work is you'd have to make an example out of a couple people and catch somebody and toss them out the league just for going to a casino, like or something made like that's what you would have to do. And I don't think they're willing to engage in that part. They're also lucky as of right now. Chauncey Billups is a pretty big name, but on the player front, that hasn't been a name that matters. You mess around and get one of those. Now that's when they are in trouble. But I do think that as a media, we are downplaying this a little bit because it's a little bad for business, to be as honest as we should.
No, listen, I think that there's definitely some truth in that. Basketball is susceptible to this, but so is tennis.
Yes, but tennis has historically had match fixing.
But I guess my point though is, man, if I was a golfer, you can bet on if I'm going to have over or under 68.5 on my next round. And if I told my boy to bet the over, but I felt like I can make the cut and still shoot a 69 or a 70, but I can make that extra money on the side. Like, I think you can do it in any sport, and toothpaste might be out of the tube on this one. And I know that's fatalistic on some level, but like, I just think these things are going to pop up. You're going to have to, I agree, be very, very harsh in your punishment. I said this, I think, with Colin. Do you think, and the guy might go to prison, so it's not high on his list of priorities. You think they're going to throw Chauncey Billups out of the Hall of Fame?
I don't think they should. I guess they could, but I don't believe in eraser in that.
Neither
way.
do I.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be inappropriate, but it depends on if somebody wants to grandstand, right?
Well, I mean, you were talking about like they have to like really make examples of these people, right? Like if they really want to say like just be as harsh as you possibly can on all of the punishments across the board to like really try to be maximum deterrent. Like I don't know what you're gonna do, because prohibition, like I said, it doesn't work. It is an addiction. I agree with you. Like a lot of this stuff reads as like these guys with all that money still needed money.
Yeah, or needing it now. Right.
So, need
it by Friday. Need it by Friday. What you got on you right now?
And organized crime.
Still in the league.
Still in the league.
Like, everybody's so surprised that organized crime is still in the league. And I'm like, what do you think they did? Shut it, like fold it up?
Yeah. Still in the league.
Hey, man, that concrete don't sell itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever there are runs of businesses that are theirs.
Yeah, I'll paraphrase from The Sopranos, like businesses that are recession proof.
Yes.
Some aspects of Hollywood and our thing.
Man, there is a 15-year-old story about the ice cream truck business in New York City. And basically there's Mr. Softy that everybody knows, and there's other company I can't remember the name of, but you know, anything that involves just staking out real estate is very susceptible to criminals because the willingness to bust somebody's head in. And basically, this company was running Mr. Softy off the block at every turn. And Mr. Softy was hitting their people like, yo, why you leaving? And they're like, you go stand out there then, right? And it was very clear that like, oh, a syndicate of some sort is running the ice cream game. All I'm saying is there are a lot of games that why would they give them up? Why would they stop?
I mean, I'm not saying that every place that is like this has that element to it, but cash businesses, you ever go to a restaurant and they're like cash only?
Yes.
You're like, cash only?
Yes.
In 2025? All right, you're not reporting everything on the books.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. Cash only. Cash only.
for
They
you.
like
Cash
hey,
only.
cash in the
Cash
bag,
only.
B. Cash in the bag. That
only.
is Danny Parkins. Check him out on FS1. First things first, 5 o'clock Eastern on your cable dial. My brother, I appreciate you.
Anytime, Bo. Thanks, man.
All right, man. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this 3 or 4 times a week. Ryan Brumley handling everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Hit the voicemail line, 323-596-7767. It's your world. You want to talk? Let us know what about. 323-596-7767. And remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.